Each episode of the Blind Alchemy Podcast is designed to be helpful. Expect comedy. Do not expect consistency or sense to be made. I am Podbot. I was inspired by the Lion Goat podcast. Listen to that show. Today's episode includes an introduction to the podcast, an introduction to the cast and crew, and an interview with disco expert Franklin.
Quite a few changes. Blind Alchemy. I apologize. We are completely unprofessional podcast by a long title. I'm not sure. Blind Alchemy is the name of the podcast. I am the Blind Alchemy. I'm coming at you live. I'm not coming like live from the sea. All right, folks. Hello and welcome to the Blind Alchemy Podcast. I am your host, the Blind Alchemist, and I am coming at you live from the kitchen with this rendition of reality as we know it. We are all one, and there is nothing new under the sun that shines down here upon the island of mind, which is somewhere adrift in the sea of frequency that creates all of reality. You see, we are connected through this energy. Now, I would like to thank you for joining us today. This is our maiden voyage, our first episode. We've tried this multiple times, but like I said, Ted, being as stoned as he is, often doesn't push record, and we lose a lot of stuff. But today we captured it with the help of the crew of the Island of Mind. I would like to thank Ted for getting out of jail and helping us with the intro. That's just how it is in this spiritual development kind of business, if you can call it a business. It really shouldn't be. No one should profit off the spiritual development of, friends and family or, the human race at all. And that's what we do around here on the Island of Mind. And this is its maiden voyage. Trying to set sail, for a destination, an important destination. Oh, wait a minute. Setting sail across the sea of frequency toward alignment with both the higher self and the lower self, the soul and the spirit of the Creator. Setting sail toward the light itself. And we will probably find some dark, rocky patches along our voyage, but that's okay, folks. That's the whole point of this, the Blind Alchemy Podcast, to help navigate these rocky waters and process those dark patches once we're past them, or even while we're doing them, or going through them, enduring them, because personal growth leads to personal sovereignty and true freedom. And that's what we're trying to get here. We have no idea where we're going because we're adrift. How do you navigate through a sea of frequency? What fixed point, star, do you navigate to, by? I don't know. I'm not a sailor either. I'm not a meteorologist. I'm not a wizard. I'm not a sorcerer. I am the Blind Alchemist. And I don't know anything about alchemy either, to be honest. It's just sounded cool for the show. It's something, maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't. I don't really know. The concept here, folks, is to grow both personally and spiritually, because that's important, I think. We're going to try it, because that's all you can do most of the times, is just try. I'm going to tell you what, failing at trying is better than never trying, because, well, you've learned something, right? There are no failures, really. There are only lessons, and it took me a very long time to learn that particular thing, and I must admit I don't feel that I have a very good grasp on it. I only remember that from time to time, but is that the fear talking? Yes, folks, that's the fear talking. You should just get in there and do it. Don't be afraid, because fear is what's holding you back, right? Now, knowing that it's okay to suck at something new can be liberating, exhilarating, fun. It takes the fear out of trying. Nobody wants to be a master of one thing because, well, as they say, being a jack of all trades and a master of none is damn sure better than being a master of one. Now, allow us to come together and conduct a little blind alchemy. Reality, it's a weird place. It's basically a soup of energetic frequency. I thought about the mind being an island of consciousness in this sea of energetic frequency. But upon further reflection, I begin to see it as a vessel, a container of consciousness. We're just floating around on it here in a vessel called the Island of Mind. The Island of Mind is the name of my ship. It's a very rickety ship, the Isle of Mind, barely seaworthy. This is a broken down boat, okay? That's what the Island of Mind is, folks. It's a broken down boat. It used to be seaworthy, and I'm not so sure it is anymore, but we've got a few loose boards. I think there's a hole in the hull, and it smells like ass and fish. I don't like it. And this is its maiden voyage upon deep and rocky waters. We not sailing people. We don't know how to operate the boat. The mast has got a crack in it, and we're not exactly sure if the wind will hold in the sail. We're not even sure that our sails will hold wind. You see, the sail is an old patchwork quilt of my grandmother's. Found it in the attic in a chest marked quilt. I believe it belonged to my great-grandmother, Cecilia. She's a very nice woman, never met her. I'm sure she was pleasant. I have no idea. But from what I hear, she was a very lovely woman. I don't really know, because that was, in fact, a couple of 100 years ago. Or maybe longer. What? Not a couple... 70 years? No, it wasn't 70. It was like 90 years. Grandma Tootie is 91 years old. Great-grandmother Cecilia had to be like 112. It was a long time ago. Anyway, now let me tell you a little bit about Island of Mind. The Isle of Mind is a very big boat. I like to talk it down. If you saw it and it was new, you'd be like, damn, that dude's loaded. But no, it's very rickety. We're taking on water. We have a sump pump in the lower deck, pumping out water to keep us afloat. And that thing is rickety too. I don't even have a mechanic on board, but we have cobbled together some recording equipment. We are in this little studio on a rickety boat. Let me introduce you to the staff, the crew of the Island of Mind. There is, of course, myself, the Blind Alchemist, and in the sound booth over there is Ted, our resident sound engineer. And well, all you need to know about our Ted is he's a very, very stoned guy. He is always on some kind of drugs. We don't even know what they are here at the studio. He won't tell us. He won't share. He's an asshole. And drug addict, because apparently he's insane. And my sound engineer, Ted, is, well, basically an idiot. Well, he's a little more complicated. He obviously has a horrible drug problem, and he's done a lot of damage in the studio and to our interns' mental health. The other day I found him, well, hanging from the ceiling with a rope tied around his wiener, his penis, if you will. And he was doing the helicopter in a very weird way, folks. Right, Ted? Why are you here? You see, Ted, you're supposed to be the guy that keeps all this in order, that knows what wire goes where to make us sound good. Okay, and the best you can do is push record. Ted, don't you do that again, because we had to get that clown. Never mind, it does. We had to get that clown guy, and you should have been here, Ted. That's all I'm saying. I give you a lot of shit. I do, for only being able to push one button, but that other guy, goddamn. Ted, I am glad you're back, though. I am glad you're back out of jail to help with this particular intro, because the guy that Patricia roped into doing it earlier this week, that guy apparently went to clown college. No, literally, a literal clown college. He had rainbow hair. Seriously, Ted, he had a big red nose. No, he wasn't drunk. That's not what causes red nose. It was a rubber nose or a font, whatever. He did know what all the buttons do, but he didn't know how to push them in the right order. I don't give you enough credit, Ted. Apparently you do more than push record. Well, thank you. We might use a Jungian psychology here because it's cool, right? It's better than Freud. Nobody really wants to fuck their mother. That's except for Oedipus, right? I don't care what. I don't want to hear that story, Ted. What? You're right, Ted. A motherfucker I may be, but the mother I fuck does not belong to me. That's fair. Nobody wants to have sex with their mother. Like I said, Oedipus, he was a pretty weird dude. Very nerdy. I think he was homeschooled. Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but some people can't handle it. That's all I'm saying. Right, Ted. You're right. Especially if your mom's a teacher who, who's sexy. That'd probably mess you up. Definitely. That's the negative self-talk. That's what the show is about. Correcting that kind of shit. Yeah, that's Ted. And apparently has started an affair with our legal team, Patricia. She's only one person. I don't know why we call her a team, but she insists. She's lovely, knows every letter of the law, where the commas go and stuff. She can even pronounce some of the legal words. It's great. She prevents us from, making any copyright mistakes or going to jail for fraud. Fraud? Is it? Okay. I didn't know you could be a fraud podcast. Can you do that, Patricia? I'm gonna have to see your credentials. Seriously, I think that might be necessary. Anyway, usually she does a good job, folks. I love her. She's great. Got a fat ass. Her and Ted are apparently an item having an affair. I thought she was married, but I don't know. This is 2022, right? That's where we are in time. Is time even real, folks? That's one of those things we discuss here, the Blind Alchemy Podcast, because honestly, nobody really fucking knows, right? It's a system of measurement, time, right? How we roll around the sun a few times, I don't know. I could be wrong. Nothing makes sense, and nobody knows what we're doing over here. Ted, our sound guy, is so stoned he can barely push record. Patricia, well, what can I say about her? She's great. She keeps us out of jail. That's very important. At least she did up until earlier this week. She's a very lovely lady. Fat ass included. She knows the law up and down, in and out. She will not let us make any kind of copyright mistakes, so she's trying to keep us out of jail. I appreciate that. Yeah, our team is one person. She's fairly competent when she's not covered in whipped cream and chicken feathers. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. If I left it up to Patricia, she would probably go lasso some random person off the street. She often does that, I think that's how I got the entire staff here. Our interns are Max and Cooper. They don't know what they're doing. Cooper can barely sweep the floor. It's a mess in here since never mind. We won't go into that, will we, Ted? Okay, thank you. But our interns, Max and Cooper, they're good kids, young, they want to get started in the industry of recording and stuff. And I say, hey, yeah, come on in. We're not going to pay you because, well, nobody gets paid around here yet. Look at the place. We're low tech. We're broke. We haven't got sponsors at all. And they're okay with that. They're supposed to be swabbing the decks, they say. But I think Ted shares his drugs with them, and they do like that sometimes. Also, a new guy on our staff, he's pretty new. He started yesterday, is Jeremy. He is our social media manager. Yeah. What are all our social media addresses, Jeremy? You haven't even started. Not one, not a Facebook, not an Insta, Twitter, Patreon, YouTube? Nothing that we... Okay. How many friends do you have on your account? 2? Your mom and your dad. Oh, great. Well, that's Jeremy, our social media manager. Apparently he has no friends and has not started any of our accounts. It's a good thing he does this pro bono, I guess. Nobody here is paid. We all wear many hats here at the studio. Like I said, the Isle of Mind is a leaky old boat, adrift in the sea of frequency that makes up our reality on that soupy waters splashing around. We've got a hole in our hull. Our mast has a crack in it. The crow's nest, well, it's missing, and that guy's gone. Do you remember what the crow nest guy's name was? Anybody? I don't expect you to remember that, Jeremy. You just started yesterday. Okay, it doesn't matter. That guy's some kind of shark or something. I don't know how a shark got up there and bit him in half, and it was messy. I'm sorry. We shouldn't talk about that. We can't. What? Are you sure? Yeah, we can't talk about that. Patricia says, and Ted's in tears. So we're gonna skip that. That's the kind of people I'm working with, okay? Ted's too stoned, and now Patricia and Ted are making out in the sound booth. Max and Cooper are asleep. Well, wait, I think they're asleep. I hope they're not dead. Ted, get your tongue out of there. That's gross.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors.
Your product goes here. Anything and everything good to say about your product, we'll say it right here, right now.
And now, back to the show.
Sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and when you feel it in your chest, exhale into the now moment and join me, the Blind Alchemist, as we conduct a little blind alchemy. How are you guys feeling out there? I'm curious. I'd like to know. I don't have a script because, we fly by the seat of our pants here. We're new to this, folks, podcasting. We're certainly learning as we go. It's on-the-job training here at the studio, and the business game, respectively. We are totally clueless. In fact, the only quality people that we have on staff here are the guys that do our editing and mass-produced publishing, and those guys over at Hairline Productions, quality dudes. I'd like to thank them. The good people over at Hairline Productions, they're great guys. They help us out with editing and music and stuff. Those guys are great. They snip the bad part out and sew the good stuff all together. So basically, I don't look like an idiot. I don't know how to edit. How do you edit, Ted? What do they do over there? Each and every day, they wade through so much content, editing it up, scissors in hand, over at Hairline Protection. Those guys do a great job of snipping and cutting and editing, sewing. Ted, does it require scissors? Ted, do you know? Patricia? Anybody? Anyway, can you sew stuff back together? You don't know either, right? What are scissors? They're knives that are hinged together, Ted. No, you can't. Well, I don't know. I guess if it's a brick, you could probably. Hey, it doesn't matter, Ted. We're not. Okay. Those guys over at Hairline Productions, I'd like to thank them. I couldn't do this without you. Really, couldn't do it because Ted's too stoned to push record sometimes. Like I said, I'd like to personally thank those guys over at Hairline Productions. Without those fellas trimming and sewing and editing all this stuff together, I'm just a schizophrenic alone in the dark. I'd also like to mention, I think he's got a personal vendetta, the owner over there, because I send him so much crap to knit together that he might attempt to make me look foolish. What do you think, Ted? Yeah, you're right. He will probably do that. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I'm schizophrenic, alone in the dark, trying to do something positive to, affect the world at large, because we have to make it a better place, right? And changing the world begins with changing yourself, and that's what we're trying to do here. That wraps up the intro, and now we'll hear a previously recorded interview with our friend Franklin.
Maybe you should show me the camera.
Oh, yeah, you won't see the camera? Yeah, you won't see the camera.
I can see what you look like,
I got you. All right, I'm coming at you. I gotta find the right button. Hold on, folks. We got a new guy in the mixing booth.
Don't be calling yourself a new guy just because Just because you don't know how to turn on your camera, don't be trying to confuse folks.
I don't even know where the camera button is anymore. All right, there it is. Okay, all right. Whoa, no, wait, hold on. So this thing over here. I see it. All right, wait. Oh, yeah. Click on it. How do I stop sharing? I don't know where to start. I don't know where the thing I don't know where it's at. You made me move it. Wait, okay, the mic. Okay, all right, wait, all right, there we go. All right, okay.
I got it. I see your face.
All right. You don't really see that face. I'm just. Oh yeah. All right. Okay. All right.
I like your energy. I like your energy. You got a lot of energy.
Yeah, we're coming at you live for the first time. Ladies and gentlemen, we may have this sound down. Yeah, come on down.
Well, that's too many downs. You can't say down.
What do you mean I can't say down that many times? What? It's my show. Okay? Patricia, you get Ted out of jail. Okay?
Like Patricia,
this
I
guy,
tell you, I mean, like
he's
Patricia.
doing. I think
like
that if you combine the powers of Ted and this guy,
makes me feel
I'm afraid.
uncomfortable. She's always using that language, that legalese language. She just makes me feel uncomfortable, man.
She is a lawyer, okay? Okay, Franklin, she is a lawyer. That's why she talks that way. It's a little weird. She's probably smarter than both of us. Next time we get a new sound guy, make sure you went to school, okay?
Have you seen credentials?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been like an hour and a half. We've been working with the sound guy for like an hour and a half. We're just now recording. I don't know what's going on. I'm feeling queasy. I haven't had a snack. And
his blood sugar is going to get low. He's going to pass out. We can't have Franklin laying in the floor. I mean, this is going to be a shitty show if Franklin passes out in the booth, okay? I don't even know CPR. I don't care, Patricia. Okay. Maybe if we combine the new guy and Ted.
I don't know why she's here. She's doing some kind. Have you seen her credentials? Has she proven to you that she's got an Esquire following her name?
She went to Harvard, man. Okay. This new guy apparently went to clown school. I don't even think
Harvard in Connecticut.
Yeah, Harvard in Connecticut, or wherever Harvard is.
Harvard's in Massachusetts, man. If she went to Harvard in Connecticut, that's not the right Harvard. You're thinking of the wrong Harvard. Are you sure it wasn't Hartford?
It started with an H, man. I'm sorry, Franklin. I don't know where the hell she went to school.
agree
She
with
may
you.
even be a real damn lawyer. Ted wasn't a real damn sound engineer. I don't know what's going on anymore. I'm doing my best to get this content out to the world to uplift people's spirit. I mean, the Alchemist is trying to change the fucking world over here, and you guys are holding me down. You like an albatross around my neck with a 40-pound boulder. I don't know how to swim in a sea of madness weighted down with an albatross. Albatrosses are bad omens, baby. They gonna kill everybody. We all gonna die. All right?
I thought the albatross was an image of life and peace in the future. I thought the albatross brought posterity to your future. Am I confused on this?
I think it might be, Franklin. The albatross that's a dead bird, man. That's a bad omen. You know what I mean? You said the sailors. It's like the.
Is it always a dead bird? I mean, did they just wear dead birds around the necks? Is that what's going on?
I think them old sailors. It's an old sailor. Like, what is it? The sailors warning, red light in the morning, red. What? I don't know. I'm not a fucking sailor. I
think it's red.
But anyway,
red in the morning. Sailors take warning.
Take warning.
Red at
Yeah.
night,
You know what I'm talking about.
But I always confuse that. Are those sailors at port? Is that why they're getting their jollies and their delights? Are they getting their delights in ports? Are they on the R&R when they're getting their delights? I mean, is the red the color of the lamp in the night woman's room?
Whoa! I never thought about that, Franklin. You bringing a whole new angle to this.
That's what I thought they were talking about.
We're gonna have to get somebody to do some research.
I've never been on a boat. Can you tell me about riding on boats?
No, I mean, I can't really do that.
Does the water feel nice?
I don't swim. I don't have any fins or gills. I stay out of the water. The salt frizzes up my hair. I don't like it. So Anyway, we're trying to get the Blind Alchemy podcast moving in a direction. We've got a new sound guy, got a second host here. This is Franklin, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Franklin.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Franklin. This is his first
I'm so
time
happy.
ever.
I'm so proud to be here. It's been a long time. I've been waiting on you had Patricia call my people, and then my people call your people, and then Patricia tried to bring out some kind of contract, make me sign some kind of contract, said that I was going to give you my firstborn child, and
Whoa,
said that you
I don't want that.
you could cast all kinds of spells and alchemy on me, but I don't know what any of that is. So, I'm not even sure if I'm the best guest to be on this podcast. I know a little bit about disco from the 70s.
Right.
That's about the
This
only
ain't nothing
topic
about-
I can talk on.
This ain't nothing about disco, Franklin. Patricia, where'd you find this guy? Walking down 5th Avenue? Oh my God, you just random guy off the street? Oh my God, Patricia, we're failing before we get out of the gate. Honey, I swear to God. Just go down there and see if Tyrone will loan us some money to get Ted out of jail. Franklin, he's a little smarter than Ted, I'm not gonna lie. He knows what all the buttons do. He just doesn't know what order to push them in, because we've been in here 6 damn hours and we've got 7 minutes of content recorded. It's taken forever.
Oh, am I supposed to be the sound guy? That could be
wait,
the problem
you're not the
right
sound guy?
there. No,
Wait,
I'm the
she
disco
didn't hire you to be the
specialist.
sound guy? She
I'm
hired you to be a
disco
guest?
specialist. Yeah.
Disco specialist?
Yeah, in the 1970s, disco music was developed further, mainly by artists
let's
from
talk
the
about that
United
then.
States and Europe. They were well-known artists, like ABBA, the Bee Gees.
Oh, ABBA, yeah. Yeah,
Donna
the Bee Gees,
Summer,
yeah. Staying alive.
Gloria Gaynor, Boney M, Earth, Wind and Fire, Shaka Khan. That's what I know about.
I think I'm going to need a whole new crew. Ladies and gentlemen out there in the podcast world, or wherever you're listening to, please help me. Like I said, I'm the Blind Alchemist. This is the Blind Alchemy Podcast. We're trying to reach into ourselves, look inward instead of outward, because the inside of us controls the outside world. And I know that's a hard concept for a lot of people to grasp, because they think that the inside and the outside are separate, but that's really an illusion. Everything is connected. You see, the God that created the universe is the same God that breathed life and spirit into me. What's going on here? We're crackling up. Oh my God, get Ted
Is
back,
it true
please.
that alchemy came out in the medieval time?
Well, yeah, a little bit before. Yeah, it's probably a little older. It got blamed for turning lead into gold, and that's not really what alchemy was about. I mean, it became that during the Dark Ages when everybody was like, where's the gold at? We need to get rich and get out of this dark, kill some of these rats so we stop dying.
Was it sort of like chemistry before chemistry existed? Is that what alchemy was? I mean, I've heard of,
that's
the kind of chemistry that happens when you look at your lady on the disco floor and you're feeling the rhythm in your bones, and you can see her beautiful eyes and the twinkle off the disco ball as it's shining in her eyes, and she's feeling the movement and you're feeling the movement, and your souls, they're just coming together, baby. Is that what alchemy is?
Yeah, that's a lot like alchemy, brother. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You get it, Franklin. Yeah. Thank you, Patricia. You found somebody who got this shit. Oh, too bad he's a weirdo off the fucking street.
Hey,
anyway,
man.
Franklin, I'm so glad you're here. You understand how that passion, that heat, when the body's entwined with the beat, you know what I mean? And you raise up, and you're outside of yourself, watching yourself do the thing on the dance floor. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Feeling that bass line, moving your boot cheeks, your booty cheeks.
Preach it, man.
You
Preach
understand
it.
it? Yeah, you understand it. I mean, the disco ball, that's representatory of the philosopher's stone. That's the ultimate goal of the alchemist,
All right.
rising above who you used to be, killing that guy off and being the quintessence, okay? The quintessential you. All right? That's what you're trying to be. because honestly, the human avatar, which is all what we all are, we're just avatars walking around. We're just puppets on a string for the soul, baby. You know what I'm saying? And the soul is the little piece of the creator spirit that dwells within this physical vessel.
Is that what makes you move when you're feeling the groove?
Oh yeah, that's exactly.
I mean,
it. See,
I
this guy
often feel
gets it.
like a puppet when I'm on the dance floor because I don't even know where the moves come from. They just come right through me like I'm possessed or something. People always ask me, they're like, Franklin, where'd you get those cool moves, man? And I'm like, hey, baby, I don't even ask that kind of question. I just go with the flow when my feet hit the flow.
Blind Alchemy. Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors.
Your product goes here. Anything and everything good to say about your product, we'll say it right here, right now.
And now, back to the show. Blind Alchemy.
Man, Franklin, you understand alchemy in a way nobody else do. I mean, I'm glad you're here, Franklin. Now, tell me, when did you get involved in this disco?
I mean, I can't even remember a time when disco wasn't in my bones. I mean, I listened to my mama and I asked her one time, I said, hey, mama, can you remind me when we first started dancing? And she said, baby, you were dancing inside me before you were ever even born. I can feel most people, they put their hands on their bellies so they can feel their babies kicking. But she said whenever they would turn on the music, I would just start kicking in rhythm the whole time. My little feet were moving, my little hands was moving. And then when I was born, I came out, I slid right out, and the doctor said, turn on that music, this boy wants to dance right now. And I said, hell yeah, my name is Franklin.
So you came out the womb like just busting a groove to the doctor screaming, play that funky music, white boy.
Hell yeah, my name is
Franklin the disco dancer.
I'm a white boy.
Dream, living a dream, man. Too bad disco is dead, sir. What are you doing these days?
Hey, baby, I'm keeping it alive.
Oh, okay.
Disco ain't dead. Disco's just taking a new form, you know? It's down-tempo disco now. It's a little bit slower. You know, we cut the beat in half. It's not cut time, you know, it's like the opposite of cut time. I don't know what you call that, like double. I mean, it's not double time. What do they call that in music? I'm not a music aficionado, but you know, whenever you slow stuff down, it's just a little bit slower now.
Okay, so what you're saying is you're bringing disco back in the form of R&B.
No, I'm not bringing it back. I'm just celebrating, man. I'm just celebrating. I'm not really a creator. I create the motions, the movement of my arms, but I kind of think that might help out with the world of alchemy. You know, maybe if I can be a channel for the music of the soul, you know, like you were saying, like if the alchemy can be the puppet master and I can be the puppet, you know, I can just move with the music with my hands and like maybe I can shape something out of that soul. I don't know, you tell me how it works. How does it work, man?
I mean, look, the reason I'm the blind alchemist is because I don't really know how it works, boss. I'm just here trying to figure it out. I'm groping, you know, in the dark. With no eyesight, you know, I'm pulling on whatever strings make sense, you know. Yeah, I'm trying to tune the cosmic harp, so to speak. You know what I mean? Because you know, it's been said that Jesus Christ said that you know, the human is like a string on a harpsichord, you know, and once it's perfectly tuned, it makes beautiful music, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to tune me and help others tune themselves. And, you know, I think you're feeling the disco tune, man. I think you're grooving on it, buddy. I'm glad you're here. You're really making me smile today. I'm happy.
Hey,
I'm happy there's somebody here who understands this stuff, you know. I never really thought that a stranger off the street that we didn't know would have came in my studio today and understood where I was coming from.
Now, I don't remember any disco songs with harpsichords in them, but I that might be funky, man. I could see how that might work. You know, a little bit of that J.S. Bach, little tinkling around in the background, but to a little...
Oh, yeah, dude. They're throwing a fat bass line like a boom. Yeah, dude,
I
man.
like it, man. I
Frankly,
like
you
it,
on
man.
it. You on it, dude. I'm gonna keep this guy around. Unpaid intern, Patricia. Get him in here. All right? No, we're not gonna sacrifice. What? I'm not a fucking...
Wait, there's a way I can get paid? Did you say something about getting paid?
Well, we're gonna start you having an unpaid intern like Cooper and Max around here. They just clean up,
Okay, is
usually
that the
after
little
Ted.
goat? Cooper the little goat? I was listening to that
No,
other
he sounded like a
guy's-
goat that one time because Ted had him on some really weird drugs and he's running around here barking and...
Ted's giving
I mean, they
you
were...
Cooper drugs? What kind
Ted-
of drugs?
I don't even know. I don't even know what kind of drugs you could do that would make you bark and neigh like a goat. What do goats do?
I mean,
what would they call
maybe
it?
if you had some helium, you could sound like a little goat.
I don't know. I mean, those guys were all thwacked that day. That's why this is like really the first episode of the Blind Alchemy Podcast, because Ted has had everybody in here so fucked. I mean, dude, the night that he drove the car through the wall of the sound booth over there, you see that big ass hole, Franklin?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a couple hay bales in there, kind of mute
Yeah,
sound,
like
but
the wind's blowing through, kind of giving me a chill, man. I was thinking
Yeah,
I
yeah.
need to maybe do some dancing to get my core temperature up in my body.
you might have to. It's a little chilly night. But he was so thwacked. Like earlier that night before he drove the car through the wall, him and Patricia were out covering each other with whipped cream and feathers. I don't even know what the fuck was going on in there. It was like,
Wow, man. She sounds like maybe she's kind of cool.
I mean,
I didn't
She's
think I liked Patricia because she all trying to get me to sign contracts and stuff, but she didn't bring up anything about whipped cream and feathers.
she do got a fat ass though, don't lie.
I don't know, man. I never really met her. I just talked to her on the phone, to set up this audio interview.
You're right. I get it. I understand. But, come back, take a look at that contract. It might be worth hanging around, Franklin. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, I'm always looking for something cool to do.
Good. Yeah.
Do y'all have any disco music in there?
Man, I don't know. I'd ask Ted, but, he's in jail right now. So,
Okay. Well, what you
I don't know
all
what-
about, man? Tell me what you all about. You say you're about trying to figure out groping around in the dark like a philosopher's stone with no eyeballs, and you're trying to figure it all out. But tell me what you all about, man. If you're not into disco,
I'm trying to figure out my place in the universe. How I fit in this little thing. Why I'm here. Why are you here? You know what I mean? Why are any of us here? Is it because the world need more love? I mean, because it feels like the world need more love. Ain't nobody happy these days, The economy, shit, Everybody's focused on that materialism, I got to get mine, got to get ducats in my pocket, so to speak. I got to get wealthy, I got to get rich. But I don't think anybody understands really what being wealthy and rich is. That's about having harmony and peace in you. You know what
the wealth of the soul instead of the wealth of the control. Is that what you're saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying. You see, look, I look at it like this, right? Okay, most religions say, let's build a temple for the Spirit of God to dwell in, right? And I kind of look at it like this mind, body, soul complex, this physical being that I'm walking around in is the temple. See these things right here? That's temples, dwell. This right here. It's the magic seat where God, the Spirit of God lives. We got to welcome in and raise ourselves up so we can be more like Jesus, right? What everybody thinks Jesus was. He said himself, the kingdom of heaven is within. He said, don't, you ain't gonna find it out here. You gotta look inside in your heart and your mind. They gotta be in alignment for you to find it. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get tuned up. And it's real hard because we live in a world these days, in a society that's ruled by fear, We got to be afraid. How we going to pay our bills? How we going to eat? Am I going to be able to keep my job? I mean, I've been worried about that a few times. How am I going to ever get this podcast off the ground? It's scary sometimes because I'm afraid if I don't get this damn thing in motion, I'm going to fail. I'm just going to go out there and lay down on the road and let a truck hit me or something because it ain't worth trying to do it anymore if I can't get it right. Inches make miles in the form of progress, you know what I'm saying?
I got a feeling, man. I got a feeling it's going to work out for you. I got a feeling it's going to work out for you, man.
Man, thank you, Franklin. Man,
You got a lot of passion. I can see that. Most impressive people in the world are the people that got passion for the thing that they want to do. You just got to find the thing you want to do. You got to do it with passion. You just got to keep on doing the thing with the passion. Whatever that passion is, you just keep dumping all your passion into it, and the rest is going to find its way to you, man. The rest is going to find its way to you.
Uplifting. I like this Franklin guy, man. I'm glad you found him, Patricia. Thank you. Man, you know, that's the thing. I got a voice, right? You know, I ain't got the words yet, but I got the voice. I don't have the content fully constructed to flow forth from the tongue yet, but I am working on it. You know, I sat down the other day and tried to write a little script up for the show.
Yeah?
I just spewed a little bit of it, you know, about the body, mind, soul complex being the physical vessel for the true spirit of the Lord, of the Creator. It's hard because this is subject matter nobody really cares about. I mean, some people I hear in certain circles, in some spaces, I've had some conversations every now and then with some folks who are like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm feeling that way too. But, man, a lot of people I know walking down the street, man.
What were y'all talking about when y'all were feeling the same way? You said you felt that way too. What were y'all talking about?
We need to rise up. Like, I feel kind of like you walk around the streets and talk to people and they're almost dead, man. They just ain't got no life left in them. And I feel like those that are trying to control us are trying to lead us down the wrong path and basically just lambs of the slaughter through the gates of hell into the fiery flames. And
that doesn't sound fun at all, man. That's
no,
like
it
the
don't,
opposite
man.
of disco.
Right, that's the opposite of disco. You are right, Franklin.
Gates of hell. That's no good, man. I don't like that. I mean, I know what you're saying, because, like, I've been trying to go to these clubs and do my disco dancing, and there's a little bit of revival, you know, in the last few years. Some of that Doja Cat and Lady Gaga, maybe a little Uptown Funk, you know. There was some stuff.
Yeah.
There were some sounds out there, some disco beats, and you know, I be going in the clubs and trying to do my dance, and you know, I'm doing the whip. I'm doing all the steps. I'm rocking it, and the people, they just don't have the same energy anymore, though. You know, out on the floor, you know, there's not that universal sense of love and harmony. It's different now. It's different now. It's not like it used to be. So I hear what you're saying.
Absolutely right. That's what we're trying to get back. I feel like there are two paths. You know, I mean, Led Zeppelin said there are two paths you can go by, but in the long run, there's always time to change the road you're on. But lately, I feel like those that are constructing this reality, this society, are pushing us down the wrong path intentionally, you know, to stunt our spiritual growth. And I want every human being alive to step into their full potential, their full sovereignty. And if you don't know, sovereignty is your ability and right, God-given, to rule yourself, not to be controlled by others. I'm starting to see the cracks in the prism, or you know, I'm feeling like society is a prison. You know, I used to think that I didn't know which was the bigger prison, the planet, the mind, or society. And I'm starting to think
Are you talking
that
about
maybe
are you talking about one of those little glass triangle things that you shine the light through and you can see like the different colors, like the cover of that Pink Floyd album? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh
when
yeah,
you
that's a
say
cool
prism?
cover, man. That's kind of what I'm talking about. You know,
I like
that
it when
light,
they shine
the
the
white
disco
light.
lights through the prism, and then they hit the disco ball after the light comes through the prism, and then it shines those dots of all those different colors all over the wall, man. You know what I'm talking about? I love that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best. That's
shiny
the
and
prism I
sparkly.
like
That's how we supposed to be, shiny and sparkly. We ain't supposed to be hiding our light under a bushel, so to speak. You know, you can't hide a city on the hill. That's what I've always been told. You can't hide a city on the hill. But I took the point of view that you could make it look abandoned and people would avoid it. You know, and that's what I did with my life, with my person for a long time.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors.
Your product goes here. Anything and everything good to say about your product, we'll say it right here, right now.
And now, back to the show.
In plain view, I was trying to hide. And I got away with it for a long time. And then I realized I was just hurting myself. So I got my broom out the closet, you know. I started sweeping the cobwebs out of the corner. I'm trying to clean myself up. I'm trying to get this house right. You know, I'm trying to get my mind right, my heart right, my soul right. I'm trying to do this not only for me, but for everybody around me. See, because when the tide rises, all boats get higher. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Franklin?
Yeah,
It's like when you feel the funky ass beat and your butt starts wiggling out there on the dance floor and everybody sees it and they come running at you like hyping you up, getting you get it. Yeah.
Like a flock of geese, man. Like a flock of geese. Waggle, waggle, waggle. Waddle, waddle, waddle. The whole way. I know what you're saying. When one goose starts wagging his tail, the rest of the geese start wagging them too. Yeah.
I haven't fully created the conduit in which to put this out here, but I'm working on it. You know, I got this little studio here. I mean, yeah, it's got a hole in the wall over there, and I got Patricia. She's keeping me legal, right? I mean, because I don't want to do nothing untoward and go to jail. I mean, I don't want copyright infringements, you know. We almost had some of that in one of our early attempts. Some guy came around here trying to get his music in the program, and all he really wanted was some blowjobs, and that's as payment. And we had a young lady here. Her name was Lisa, and she didn't really mind giving them blowjobs, but I did. After 4 or 5 of them, my jaw started hurting, and I couldn't do it no more.
Well, you know, maybe you just needed a break, man, like a little coffee break now and then in between. You know, 5 in a row. That could be a lot.
Man, it hurts your jaw. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, man, do you know anything about that elixir of life? That elixir of immortality?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. That's getting your whole self, mind and body and spirit aligned with love itself. Pure love, unconditional love from the Creator, the source, that the Bereshit. You know, in the beginning, God created. But in the Hebrew, that's not what that means. It means from this point sprang forth, flowed forth. That source, you know, the spark that caused the Big Bang is what flew forth. Is the point where, you know, I feel like people say that the universe is the mind of God, right? And, you know, I can see that. It took a lot of intelligence to string all these planets together and all these galaxies and whatnot, black holes, white holes, and stuff we ain't even discovered yet. Because, you know, we are in our infancy, humankind. Well, not really. We are in our, I think, the 84th turning of humanity. Because I think planet Earth just spits out people and there's some catastrophe and we all fall back into caves and come out like cavemen again and do it all over again. We get smart and we get technological.
And then eventually one day we come up with disco again.
Yeah, I mean, disco ain't going nowhere, baby.
It's gonna take a long time. It's gonna take a long time to get from caves to disco. I mean, discotheques are kind of like caves on the inside, the dark, you know, and you gotta shine all the lights that you want to be on the inside, but they do have the same kind of acoustics. If you're in the right kind of discotheque, you got a little bit of echo for the bounce. I mean, but it's going to take a long time to go from cave dwelling to discotheques. I'm not sure I'm ready for the next one of these. What'd you call it? A turnover? Of black holes meet the white holes, a Big Bang? Is that like the big orgy you have at the end of the discotheque night? The Big Bang?
Man,
everybody
I ain't never had that
in?
kind of disco night. Frankly, you need to let me know when you're going to the next discotheque. I'm just get down with that. That's all I'm saying.
Big Bang is where it's at, man. That's like the best party you can go to, cause you know you don't even have to know very many people, cause it's just free and everybody feels like part of the show, and
Right.
you know it's
Okay.
it's disco.
Man, Franklin, I'm glad Patricia rounded you up off the street today. I'm glad you came in the studio and here with me for the very first official recording of the Blind Alchemy Podcast with, me, your host, the Blind Alchemist. Now, as I said before, it's all metaphorical. I'm not really blind. I do have bifocals, but I'm not, blind. I'm not legally blind or anything like that. I don't have a stick. I don't have a cup. But, man, I'm glad you're here. You give me a shot to my spirit, boosting me up, making me want to continue to do this. Because, I tell you what, I was getting drugged down. Franklin. It was hard to get out of bed, Things weren't going right, Like I said, there was some problems with the studio. We ain't really got money. Fixed a hole in the wall. I know you're getting cold in there. Patricia, get Franklin a sweater and a cup of coffee, please, dear. Thank you.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
wait,
thank
this
you.
Patricia, wait, she like your secretary and your legal representative? She's kind of she does it all, huh?
Well, she does help out. Now, I mean, Ted usually got everybody coffee, once he had pushed the record button, because that's all he was really good at. And him and Tyrone, we won't talk about Tyrone.
Wait, who's Tyrone?
They would just sit in Tyrone is the pimp that works this block. They would just sit in
man,
there.
What kind of place am I at? You got pimps?
What?
You got pimps and legal representatives in the same block? I like this kind of place. It's ubiquitous.
Yeah, it's very fluid around here. It is the 21st century. And everything's fluid. It's a spectrum. Life is a spectrum. Anyway, that brings me to the point that I had avoided a while ago about the universe being the mind of God. I don't really agree with that. I'm starting to think that the universe is like the womb that the Creator created the universe in order to pour His Spirit in here, like a womb, to grow life, because all life in every form, fashion, everywhere, from the beginning of the universe to the end of the universe, if there is such a way, it's full of life. All kinds of life, material, plant, carbon-based, whatever. I'm not a guy who knows the periodic table of elements. I know there are some that we've made recently, like element 115, and then it's kind of some freaky, dangerous stuff. Well, it makes the spaceships fly around. That's what they tell me. That's what the guy from the Air Force was. Well, we can't talk about it. I know. I'm sorry, Patricia. Thank you. Franklin, how's that coffee, buddy? You liking that? Is it good? You want more sugar, creams, or anything?
Oh, I always like a little bit of cream in my coffee, but Patricia's kind of nice. She hooked me up. She gave me a little bit of it, and it's tasting good. But the only thing that really makes me get excited is Diana Ross. I gotta be honest with you. That's the coffee I drink in the morning. And I recommend it to you, if you're waking up feeling low, like you were saying, you have been having hard times, you might try a little disco music in the morning. When you first get out of bed, turn it up, get you a little lap around the living room, and you might see everything different. It can change your entire perspective on the world, and if you're not feeling disco one day, you can go old school, bring out the Temptations, bring out the originals.
Oh, man, yeah.
And
Aretha, man, that's my jam right there. Aretha, she has some lungs, some pipes, some soul, and there's a fire in that woman, man, and it spills out into her music, and she was beautiful, just inside and out. And I wish I could have got to meet her, but I don't know where she lives, or I'm not supposed to, because I got a restraining order, but we won't talk about that. But like I was saying, it's about love, and it's about lifting everybody up. We got to come together.
You put a restraining order on your urethra?
No, not my. No. What was that new guy, sound guy? I don't even. Is he still here? I know I fired him before the show started, but get him back in here and get the sound up in Franklin's earphones so he can hear what I'm saying over here. Is he just I don't know what he's talking about. Aretha Franklin? No, that's not right, man. I thought you was a disco fan. I thought you was down with that funky music, boy.
I'm a fan of Aretha Franklin, of course. Yeah. You were saying something about Aretha, and then you started talking about a restraining order, and I don't know. I just tried to put two and two together. My math is not great. Aretha, they kind of sound the same.
Well, see, that's a kind of a messed up story. The reason I got a restraining order put against me by Aretha Franklin is because I went into the studio down there in Muscle Shoals when she was recording an album down there, and I had accidentally got a paper cut on my penis, and I said it was pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie, it was just some blood, and I said, "Help me, Aretha!" And then the cop showed up and drugged me the fuck out of there, and it wasn't a pretty picture. I had long hair, in Alabama in those days, you couldn't have. It was better to be black in those days than it was to be a long-haired white guy, and the police beat me with sticks. And a dog bit me. It was pretty bad. But I'm better now. See, I'm changed my ways. I'm getting better. That's what the whole point of the show is about.
Why were you down there in the first place? Did you know Aretha?
No, I didn't know. I knew she was recording that night in the studio. I knew.
You were down there. You were down there to see her record. Where was she recording at?
That real famous studio down there in Muscle Shoals that Dwayne Allman worked at. You know what I'm talking about?
No kidding. With a wrecking machine.
Yeah. See, me and Dwayne, we were tight back then. He was. I taught him everything he knew about the guitar. Till I lost all my strings and my slide. He stole my golden slide. That's why he's so good at it.
Were those back in the days when she was working with the Jerry Wexler?
Yeah, back then. Yeah, about the time Respect came out. You remember?
Oh yeah, RSPCT. Yeah, baby.
Yeah. Anyway,
you know
I was
what
down
her
there
middle name is?
Trying to meet the Soul Queen, because that's what she was.
Yeah, I never met any of the greats, man. I never met any of the greats. I just danced to their music. I might have even had an opportunity, but I spent all my time at the clubs, and I was just dancing and dancing and dancing. I just that's all I really know how to do. But I did hear about her middle name. Did you ever hear what her middle name was?
No.
You'll never guess, man. You'll never guess.
No, I probably won't.
It's Louise.
What? Really?
Yeah.
That's sexy.
ALF. Just like that show, man, that used to be on TV back in the day. Aretha Franklin.
That's crazy.
She was the original Alf. She
Well, shit, yeah. She could have been from another planet,
I heard she loved to eat pussy, but I don't know if that's true or not.
Alf was? No, the Tanners would never let Alf eat pussy in the house.
No, that's all he wanted to do, man. That's all Alf wanted to do. He's always chasing the cats around. That's all he wanted.
I want to put mayonnaise on him all the time. I don't know, that's weird. He never wanted to shave him. He wanted him furry.
Melmac. I don't even know where Melmac was supposed to be. Do you know where that was supposed to be? Was that in our galaxy or some other galaxy?
No, it's 3 galaxies over to the left. 2 past Beetle guys. It's Beetle guys, not Beetlejuice. That's a movie.
Do those directions really make sense when you're out in space, left and right, relative to what, man?
Well, relative to the direction in which you were born in, I guess. I don't know. It only took Alf like 35 minutes to get here. He's, those spaceships are fast, bro.
You would have thought after 35 minutes they could have come back and picked him back up, man.
Well, as the radio was broke, he couldn't get nobody to come get him. I think we're getting off track here, but anyway, like I was saying, we probably should take a break.
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors.
We ain't got no sponsors. What are you talking about? This whole damn podcast is brought to you by me, because I'm the fucking sponsor here.
And now, back to the show.
This is the Blind Alchemist coming at you live with heart, with soul, with love, trying to raise everybody up. I hope you're doing good today. Eventually we'll get some merch to sell, maybe. We're working on it. I got to build a new crew. Ted's in jail. Franklin, I'm glad you're here.
Hey, man, I'm happy to be here. One of these days we're going to make that Shumway mix.
Oh man, that's gonna be funky. I don't even know what happened to my interns. They're gone. I ain't seen them in 2 days. Maybe they're out there getting fucked up with Ted, and that's why they ain't here. Maybe they're in jail with Ted. I don't know. It's a rough spot for the Alchemist right now, but we're trying in here. And that's the point, ladies and gentlemen. No matter how hard it is, inches make miles, they say, you know. Don't look back at where you come. Keep your eyes on the prize and aim at where you're going, and you'll get there eventually. It may take some time, but, you know, there's obstacles in the way. Always remember that the obstacle is the way. So that's the way you got to go. You got to go through it, around it, over it, under it. You just get by that obstacle, and on the other side of it is the grass is greener. You understand what I'm saying, right, Franklin?
Yeah, man, I hear you saying that this is some kind of feel better show. That's what I hear you saying. Like, when you get out there on the dance floor, just let the rhythm move you. That's what I hear you saying. Hey, man, do you know, are y'all gonna have any disco music up in the studio today?
I don't know. Like I said, Ted, our sound guy, he usually injects the little sound bits in here. He's in jail. The new guy we had from the clown college or whatever the hell that was, I guess he left.
Are you prolific in the Chinese alchemy or the European?
No, I don't know much.
alchemy?
More European. I don't know much about the I Ching and stuff. It all originates from the same area, you know.
Well, I know they used to call things different things back in the day, you know, like they refer to chemicals as different materials than we talk about today. So I didn't know, you know, because like in different parts of the world, music is different. I imagine alchemy is a lot like music, like what you were saying. And so I was just thinking in different parts of the world, like in China, maybe they called the chemicals different names and they had different products and different, you know, there's a whole other spiritual way of being on the east side. I think that's a relatively more accurate view of the world. I don't know about you, though. You were talking about Jesus Christ, but I think
you're probably
maybe,
right.
You know,
I mean, I feel like you're pretty close to that.
maybe
you know,
Jesus
I mean,
came
see,
from the
the
east.
thing about
I said
Do what
maybe
now?
Maybe Jesus came from the east. Maybe
I
Jesus
am-
was shuffling his feet from the east. Back in the original times, you know, maybe that story came from a long time ago, before the disco.
Oh yeah. I mean, Jesus was a traveling kind of guy, man. He was on the road a lot. You know, they say that when he was a boy, you know, after what 12 or 13, and you know that during that time period, nobody ever talks about Jesus because he's born. He's a baby king, right in the manger. Everybody knows that. All right, and then that king is like, oh, there's a baby king in this town. I'm gonna kill a baby in here, and then nobody talks about Jesus till he shows up and he's getting baptized by John the Baptist. He's 33 years old. What happened? All right, let me tell you what.
I mean, I
his
figured
uncle
he was
Joseph.
masturbating a whole lot when he was a teenager, don't you? And they didn't want to write about that because that's embarrassing, thinking about your Savior with his pud in his hand. I mean, that's just embarrassing. And, you know, but he had to go to some discos or he would have never learned about all the love, you know.
He would have never made water in the wine, right? I mean, that
I
was the
think
whole,
he was like a
they was getting funky
DJ.
at that wedding, right?
I think that's where the original J and DJ come from.
Right.
Jesus. Disco Jesus, man.
Disco Jesus, man. That's something to think about, Franklin. You know, I mean, they was probably playing funky disco music at that wedding where you turned the water into wine. That's probably
what
why
I'm
he did it.
saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why you need all that wine, because everybody's getting down. You got to make a bunch of wine. If you got a bunch of folks at the discotheque, you really need a bunch of fish and bread. Well, I don't know if bread and fish is the best thing to eat when you're disco dancing, but you know, if that's what you got, that's what you got.
Well, see, they say he traveled a lot, right? See, they say right after he left that little town, Joseph and Mary took him out to Egypt, and where they met up with some very, very wise priests, and they taught him lots of stuff. You know, they taught him lots of stuff, and then
Like four
and then
on
when
the
he was
floor?
still, yeah, like, you know, how to do the snake and the electric slide or what? Yeah, the Super Bowl shuffle.
Super Bowl shuffle, yeah. I never seen anybody
And
do
then-
that on the disco floor, but that would look good.
And then his uncle Joseph took him out to England because Joseph was a very rich man. He owned several mines across that area, and he owned a
Like
tin
the
mine.
original Joseph,
in
like his
Europe.
dad Joseph.
No, not Dad Joseph, like Joseph of Arimathea, that guy there.
Right, okay.
Was his uncle. And there's a folk song about Joseph and Jesus being in Europe, working at the tin mine, because it's a very nice folk song. With Joseph come the little lad from Galilee. It's very pretty. They say even that Jesus sat in many sessions with druids and the Tibetan monks and made it over to China and Japan. And he was a walking fella, man. I tell you what, I think he could probably walk really
It's
fast.
a long way to walk.
Yeah, I think he can walk pretty fast.
I think he had to move at like a good disco shuffle to make it that far in his lifetime. We're talking 145 beats a minute.
Yeah. He did walk through that wall and surprise all his disciples at one time. He just kind of phased through it, so he could probably clip pretty quick. He's a fast guy. I mean, them sandals didn't slow him down. You think they would, because they just strap on your feet, but get sand on your toes, and I don't know.
Especially when you're trying to cross the Himalayas. I mean, your feet get cold wearing sandals in the Himalayas. 14
Well,
feet
yeah,
of snow, you would have to be moving your butt to make it across there. Just to keep your body temperature up high.
I agree with that. He
You
probably
need
moved
some
pretty
parallel
fast.
octaves.
What you talking about? Octave 8? Is that what you talking about, Franklin?
Oh, you
What
know
about
how on the
octave 8?
bass part of disco, there's a lot of parallel octaves. The doom 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 doom.
Oh, yeah.
It's all octaves. Doom 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 doom.
Yeah, get funky with it, right? Yeah.
That's all parallel octaves, man. That's what that's called.
Man. Oh.
If I had my bass guitar, I'd show you, but I don't have one right now.
Well, we had one in the studio, but Ted hawked it. I think he traded it for some drugs. Ted.
This Ted guy, man,
Ted's
he
the guy.
sounds like bad business. Is his real name Theodore?
He's an all right guy. He's a guy with a problem. He's trying
He's
to
not the
trying to
oldest
find
of the
himself out.
Chipmunks, is he? He's not Theodore from the Chipmunks, is he?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
That guy was trouble.
He's not.
Always acting like
No.
he was the smart one. I didn't
No,
understand
that was Simon,
that.
wasn't it? Simon was the smart one.
Oh,
And
yeah?
Theodore was the little hungry one. He always ate all the food.
Oh,
he ate all the
yeah,
he ate all the acorns and stuff.
Yeah, that's because he had the munchies.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
Probably
Ted and
messing around
Theodore
with
do
Alvin.
have a lot in common.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to personally thank you for coming on this quest with me. I'm your host. I'm a guest on the quest along with you. I appreciate your company. I appreciate your support, your love. Send your emails over to
The Blind Alchemy Podcast.
at gmail.com. Look us up on all the social media platforms. We ain't there yet, but we're coming. Just be forewarned and on the lookout for us. We're coming with love in our heart and a funky beat in our feet. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Franklin, for being here.
Yeah. Blessed like the rest, guest on the quest. Put it to the test. Feel that thump in your chest.
You feel it? Like that heartbeat. Yeah, that's the funk right there, that heartbeat.
Feel the
You know what I'm
thump
talking
in
about.
your chest.
Franklin knows, ladies and gentlemen. I feel especially blessed that he was here with us tonight. Thank you for being here with us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad you were here. You brought a breath of life into me.
We'll look into that internship. Yeah, baby, when you're feeling bad, you just call old Franklin, man. We'll put on some disco beats.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, take that advice from Franklin. If you're feeling low, put some funk in your flow. You know what I mean? Disco, get your balls spinning, do what you got to do. Get out there and groove like it's Studio 54 for you. I hope you're feeling the love. I hope you're living the life you want to live. I hope you get where you're going in this troublesome world. I know it's hard out there, and I know we're all struggling, but we're going to get through it together because that's what it is. We're all in this together. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. I would come over to your house and hug you. If you need it, you just call. We don't have a phone here yet. Patricia's working on it for us. We're very low tech around here. We're going to do it together. We're here. Thank you very much for being here with us. I'm your host, your guest on the quest as we float through the sea of frequency that we call reality. Love you, ladies and gentlemen. Please hit us up on every social platform you can find. Be safe out there. Come back and talk to me, all right?
Talk to you soon.
We would love to receive your feedback and your questions for advice. Please email us or send us a voicemail. Our address is theblindalchemypodcast@gmail.com. Find, like, review, subscribe, and contact us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and YouTube at The Blind Alchemy Podcast. All one word. Please subscribe to this podcast on your podcast player. We are available on Spotify, SoundCloud, and Anchor.fm/The Blind Alchemy Podcast. Please tell all your friends, enemies, and any strangers to listen to our podcast. This will help us bring joy to everyone. Text-to-speech services were provided by freetts.com. Music for today's show was composed, performed, and recorded by the excellent musicians at Hairline Productions. Today's show was edited, produced, and recorded by the world's greatest sound designers and engineers at Hairline Productions. Please like their content on SoundCloud/guitars and such.